Welcome to Studio Life at Three Dimensional Visions.
Hi, this is Sally at Three Dimensional Visions, and we're going to be working on the furnace again today. So we're casting some molds that we've made for the front part of the furnace. So I'll take you on that journey and try to describe what we're doing. So there's Patrick. He's cutting open the bag of castables, and each bag weighs about 55 pounds, and you put it in this mixer, which is just like a little cement mixer, and you add a little bit of water to it. It's really important not to get too much water going, because that will make the castable not work. We had a lot of luck doing this with our skill, but we did have a couple of failures too, where either it was just too damp when we cast, or we had a little too much water, or we didn't let the wood dry out after we sealed it. I don't know. So he's adding the castable into the mixer. You saw he put, less than 2 cups of water in there, really. And he's got a respirator on to keep that dust from flying into him. There's the mixer going. You see it makes a little bit of noise. He's going to add some more water in just a sec. There we go. And we'll look in there and see it turning around. It's got a little blade. It's been mixing a lot, so it's getting tired. So he adds a little bit of water at a time. You want to get all the big chunks broken up, and away it goes. It's like making dough. So he's gotten it mixed up, and now he's pouring it into one of our trusty buckets. And you see it's not real viscous, but sort of like cement. It just comes out a little bit at a time. Very exciting, very exciting. If you've seen one of our videos on casting and into the molds, this is just like whatever you saw before, basically. You do one mold at a time, and then mix up some more. Hopefully you use up the whole bag. So Eric's taken that over to one of the panels that we're pouring today. So this is going to be one of the top panels that go around the gathering port. And you see there's an angled side and a straight side to the panel. I'll zoom in onto this other panel so you can see it a little more closely, the one he's not filling up. So there's a slanted angle board that's at about 45 degrees, and then a vertical board. And that's what he's filling. He's filled with that. And then he's going to just basically get it level, and then up to a fill line that we've marked, which is about a 3-inch thickness. So you don't trowel this smooth or anything, you just sort of get it. If the ideal situation would be to have a vibrating board under it, so it would just sort of shake it and shake the pieces and the air bubbles out, but we hit it with hammers instead. You'll see what I mean. So he's going to get that to where the best he can do to that line, and you see they're just fingerprints on that, and those will smooth out. And so now we're filling up the second panel that will be around the gathering port. So we're pouring out the second bag now. Again, You know, it's like a concrete-y typey consistency. All right, so we'll start pouring bucket 2 into the panel that we didn't quite get filled up. And then we'll pour it into the next panel, which is going to be the bottom panel. That larger panel is the bottom panel, which has a raking port in it. So there's a block in there to provide an opening for the raking port. So Eric's just using his hand to smooth this out. We've got it marked at 3 inches again, because that's the thickness that we're shooting for. And he's just getting that all settled in. This is going to be the front panel of the furnace at the lower part. And this little square right in there, that cube, is where the raking port will be. And so we're gonna fill that next. Starting the pour into this mold. And he'll go back and get some more. And so this is our alternative to a vibrating belt. We just take a little sledge and let it vibrate the board that the mold is made on, so that it makes the material slouch in a little bit and fill in any air bubbles and stuff like that. And it does make a difference on how long you do that, because if you don't do it long enough, you get stratigraphy in there, especially if it's a double pour. That's Patrick with the next batch. Again, 55 pounds in that bucket. And he's going to start pouring it into the mold.
A picture's worth 1,000 words, so you can see his technique here, how he sort of pushes and smushes with his fingers.
So we'll need to get some more, I'm pretty sure. Patrick says, oh yeah, if you couldn't hear him under that mask. See, there are the little marks that we make to show where the level is. So we've got another 2 inches in this one to go, at least. So here we are, he's putting some more water in the mixer. Eric's vibrating the ones that we've got finished, or the ones that are starting to cure. And Patrick is over there mixing up. And here we go with the pour. He's pouring out this third bag. I think that's where we are. Fourth? Third. Now we'll see where we are. Looks like we might be pretty close to there.
See, he's actually sort of tucking it in there, making sure everything is in the right place. And we're pouring that little extra bit in and smoothing it out. So we still need a little bit more of the castable in there, 1 or 2 scoops. Unfortunately, really, once you open that bag, you don't want it to sit. So we're going to use that, and then we're going to go over here and do a test run on this ball that we're going to use for the dome. So it's sitting in the dome. This is a little smaller size, but we just want to put some castable on it and see what happens, to make sure we understand the concept. So we'll show you that too. All right, he's adding just that little bit extra. That's probably about all it needs. We're just going to smooth that little bit out in there and make sure we get to those lines in both of those corners. And then we'll have to vibrate this baby some more. Alright, so I'm doing the test on top of this ball, and the test is not really whether or not we can put the stuff on there. The test is what will happen when it comes off, just to make sure that this ball is works for the right material and doesn't suck the water out of the refractory.
You kind of wanted to do that, that's self-leveling.
Oh, that's true.
I could make it drier if you want.
No,
I was thinking
it's probably reaching the angle of repose, so that's what it should do. So the conclusion to this is we need to add less water for the batch that we're making for the crown when we do that, because you see how it's strewn down here. Just a little less water will make it better. So lesson learned, good idea. So we're mixing our last batch of the day, and it's just turning slowly, and he's about to dump it out. So there it goes, dumping out into the pail. Again, you can see that consistency, pretty much like concrete, but it's castable refractory, high temperature castable refractory. What we're doing with this is that this is our pedestal, all with some boards around it that are the molds, and we're going to make a level surface. If you remember, when we made the pedestal, we talked about sloping it, because inside here the pot will sit in the middle and everything is sloping so that it can come down and drain through the port, which is the raking port. And so in between the wood pieces, we're making a level area so that the walls can sit on there, and that's what we're pushing for now. So we're not looking for any certain thickness, we're just going to make a level area. So we're going to dump this in using the scoop and just put a little bit in each side. Again, what we're trying to do is make a level area.
just the whole front here? Yeah.
So starting at the front.
Alright, just pour it. Okay. Oh.
They're trying to work like a team.
It's okay for me.
Of course, Eric's throwing it all over.
How much we shoot for 7 nothing? Let's go
Yeah.
out. We'll spread it.
Yeah, it's really good.
So again, all we're trying to do is we're going to spread it, and we have a 2x4 and a level, and we're going to get a level surface, and that's what our goal is. So Patrick has a glove on, and he's just spreading that stuff around. In our homemade mold with pony clamps and plywood and 2x4s. So now he's using the 2x4 as sort of a leveling tool. Because again, this lip that we're basically making is a level area for the walls to stand on, which we have already cast. And so he'll just go around all 4 of the sides. And just making sure things are more or less level, so that our nice new walls will sit firmly there. So we determined this corner is low, so he's added a little bit more material in there.
This is higher now.
So thanks for joining us with today's session of Studio Life while we fabricate our glass blowing furnace. This is Sally with 3 Dimensional Visions. Until next time, stay safe and have fun.